Okay, guys, Chris calling back with you on CC's Aquatic Adventures, and we've had an eventful week. In case you guys haven't been following the station, the channel, I should say station, it's a YouTube channel. Uh, I used to have a radio station. There's like an internet station when it first came out. That was pretty interesting. Nothing fish related, but it was sports, and I think we did some music. But anyway, YouTube channel. Um, we've been very busy, and we had an eventful week last week. I'll go through the week here real quick. So on Monday, we got a call for a heart. So um, we rushed out of here like a bat out of hell. Got to Hershey, and we got prepped for surgery. Everything was going good. It was a Monday, I believe. But unfortunately, it's called a dry run, which means that they want you to prepare, get to the hospital, and then if I happen to get the heart, they're ready to put it in. So it was between me and another guy who had the same blood type and same body type. It was a good match for me. Um, but either I was too far away from where the heart was, or the guy was sicker than me. I'm not really sure what the parameters were or what the reason was, but we didn't get the heart. So we ended up having to get the tank delivered. I think I explained to you guys in the last video. In case you didn't know, we did have it delivered. The guy was very nice, and he was going through some medical problems too. But we hooked up with him, and we're probably going to join the New York Cichlid Association. But he's a good guy. Um, he helped us with the tank, so the tank was ready. But we decided to wait until this week because my friend got engaged, and we had an engagement party in New York. So I just got back from New York, and we're just starting today to move the fish around. Okay, so we already started moving fish. I'm gonna go downstairs and show you what we're moving, where we're moving stuff to. The first thing we're doing, obviously, is making sure that we have enough cycled media to use. You want to make sure that when you're moving fish, that you don't overload the tank with, your bio load should be um, matched with your um, biological filtration, or your cycled media, I should say. Um, so what I usually do, if I have a tank that only had like one or two fish, I usually move some more cycle media that I had in another tank and put it in there. And your tank's going to be cycled, but you also don't want to ruin your bio load. So just be careful when moving fish. You just remember that you know, if you're moving fish, make sure that the tank already has established a cycle, or has cycled media and establish that bio load. I have a lot of seasoned tanks, so I don't really concern myself too much with that. But we're gonna go downstairs, and I'm gonna show you what we're doing. But yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know that I actually had another trip coming up this weekend to see my mother-in-law, but we decided for me not to go. My wife's gonna go to see her mother, spend Mother's Day with her. I'm gonna stay here in case they do call. So they said once you get called once, they're gonna you're pretty close. So keep your fingers crossed that we get this heart and we can move forward. I can move forward with my life. But in saying that, we're going to move forward with these tanks, and anything I'm doing now is making it easier for anybody who is going to take care of these fish when I'm down. So that's what we want to do. We want to move. And my wife also wants to make room for other stuff that she wants to do in the garage, and that's perfectly fine. It's something we agreed upon. So um, so I'm gonna stay home this weekend. I got a pool tournament, but I believe, and I'm gonna continue to work on get more space for my wife so she can move the freezer in there, and she wants to do some stuff. Um, it's all about moving electricity, and and relocating it, and I can run these smaller tanks on sponge filters. I have a pump down there, so we'll still have the hang on backs. I do like running those in case I run into any issues. But in saying that, I need to stay within 3 hours of the heart transplant hospital. So we're gonna stay here, and we're gonna finish these fish tanks and get these fish moved, and we're gonna bring you guys through the whole process and show you how we do it. Okay. So let's get started. I'm gonna go downstairs. I'm gonna show you what we did. I already moved some fish out of there, and we're gonna start right now. by getting some stuff moved. So stand by. Just want to give you guys an update, let you guys know what's going on. I'll let you guys know that we're moving some stuff around now, and we're going to show you the process on how we do it. And it's going to be steps. Obviously, we're not going to do everything in one day. It usually takes me about 2 weeks to do it. The 125 is where we're going to have to cycle it, and that's going to have to be cycled because it's a bigger tank, and it's going to be more bio load. But we're not going to put that many fish in there right now. But it's what we're pretty much doing is separating fish, and our mantra is, if you can't, if you can't find a good home for them, then time for them to get a different home. If you can't own them, rehome them. So we're rehoming these fish into bigger tanks, and I also have Vance on standby in case I want to. If these jaguars act up and they start getting mouthy and don't play nice, they're gonna be gone. They're gonna be going to his house, and he has 240-gallon tanks, so he got plenty of room. And if they don't work out, we'll give it to Vance, and then we could do some other stuff. We got geophagus in there. We got a bunch of different South American cichlids that we could move. So we'll figure that out as we go. But for now, I already filled this bucket up here. If you look to see, that's for the 10-gallon downstairs. I took the Severums out. They've been quarantined for about 2 months now. So I did a water change, and I took the water out of them and moved them upstairs. I also acclimate them because the water's a little different in the angelfish tank. So we're gonna put them in there, and hopefully they'll stop being squeamish. I mean, it was a pain in the neck to get them out of there. They're trying to jump out of the tank. Some fish aren't used to certain things. So I'm hoping that we move these guys into a bigger tank and with other fish that they're gonna calm down. We'll take a look at it. It's all a test. It's all, you have to keep an eye on these fish. We gotta make sure they get along. But that's one of the most important things is that they get along. And they're going to be in a good ecosystem. That's what we're going to do. Stand by, guys. Let me go downstairs, and we'll show you what we're going to do. And then when we're done, we'll go back and show you what the finished product is. But it may take a couple of videos. But I think I might do the first step, which we're going to be doing today. And then we'll worry about moving the bigger fish on another video. Okay? So hold on 1 second, guys. Move downstairs. Get this water down there. I want to fill this tank back up, and then we're going to do water change in one of the tanks in here before we put the Jaguar in there. We're still waiting for the heater to warm up the tank, so we want to get that tank to about 78. So we're going to stand by on that. But for right now, we'll go downstairs and show you guys what we're doing with the fish and who's moving where and what the plan is. All right? Okay, guys. So we're down in the fish nook. I've already started moving some stuff around. This is, obviously the saltwater tank is staying there with the puffers. We know we love the puffers. They just, they don't do anything. They just sit there, and they're perfectly fine. They're doing 100% good. You can see all the snail shells and all the shells in the bottom. That's what they eat. They don't crack the shelves, which I thought they were going to, but they don't. But perfectly fine. They like to eat that stuff. As you can see, this tank here with the Jaguar is completely overloaded with snails, and we're actually going to put some zebra loaches in there. I do have a tank up here that we grow snails out to feed the puffers, and there's also this tank here. But they won't kill them all, but they'll eat a lot of them. But you can see there's a lot of them in there. That's what I'm saying. The bio load from up there is going to be good for the fish because those snails create bioload. So it's a good thing. Now, obviously, with the Jaguar, we're going to take him out and put him in a small tank for now, but we'll see what happens. Now, somebody told me to turn the camera this way, so I'm going to do that right now. I kind of like doing it up and down because I have tanks that are stacked. So, but anyway, we'll film it like this because the guy said something. We'll see if he makes a difference or if it's better. So anyway, so we got the bio in this filter. We actually turned the filter on up here. I want to cycle through. This is cycled here too, and this has some cycle in it. So we want to run that through. I may not run that forever, depending on what the bio load does. But that guy's coming out. and these guys are going in. So we already moved these guys to the bigger tank. They were in the 10-gallon down there. We want to keep the platies in that tank so they can breed. They already bred. There's 2 babies in there, so we're gonna keep those guys in there. So that's good. This Jaguar, obviously, we're gonna try to move him to the 125. If he can get along with the male. If not, we got a backup plan for that. Um, I already talked to Vance. He said he'll take it. So that's a good sign. We're happy there. Um, I already moved the Severums upstairs into the tank that they're going in. Um, so they're moved. I actually went in here and I put a hang-on back filter just to get all the debris that I kicked up. I want it to be nice and clear in there before I put the angelfish in there. It looks like I already knocked off the filter tube, so we'll have to go in there and fix that. So those, sorry, I'm filming the wrong tank, but that tank there, the Severums are in. We're going to move those fish out of there. We already moved the fish out of there up into the 75 gallons, so they're in with the angelfish. Like I said, this female, she already knocks the hell out of um, the tank. You can see she knocked over the filter, but I'm not going to touch her because she's a little bit vicious. She's protecting her eggs, but she's also in a confined space, so we're going to get her into a bigger tank, see what happens. So, these 3 are going to keep running. I'm going to keep these on the system, these little 5 gallons, in case we have any breeding stuff we want to do. I may actually bring up some guppies up here. I want to put them in that tank, though. So, we're going to be doing that. Put them in that tank in the 10 gallon. All right, we're going to have this 10 gallon empty, and then that one too. So this one's going to be for the angelfish when I grow them out. That's going to be for the guppies when I get him out of there. And like I said, no matter what these guys are going, we're not going to keep him. He's hiding, but we're not going to keep him if they're going to keep acting like that. So I already got the 15 gallon set up. Wait for the heater to get hot, and then that guy's going upstairs. And then 125 when we get that set up. That guy, the female in there, you can see her right there, and the male are going to go in there along with the. I'll show you the fish upstairs that are going in the 125. So the polo sickles and the one upstairs are going in here. We're going to put the zebra loaches. There's a flying fox, and there's also a pleco that we're going to put in there. We'll put them all in there. I may want to put something else in there for them to hide. I may put something else in there. And then that tank will be done. And then we're going to move all the 20 gallon. I'll show you the fish upstairs. All the 20 gallon longs are going in this tank. But we're going to mix it up because, like I said, the zebra loaches are going to be going in there. And we're going to put them in here too. With the aggressive fish that I don't particularly care for, the barbs. They're going to be going in here, and they get along with the zebra loaches, so we'll do that. All of my what do you call it? Corridoras are going in with each other. I'm going to put the 2 in the 20 gallon, in the 55 gallon with the rest of the bigger panda Corys. They're going to go all together with the big green emerald, and the small green emeralds are going in the 40 gallon. So we're going to keep the Corys together because they do better in groups. And then we'll put the zebra loaches. There's only 2 of them. They do perfectly fine together. And we also have a clown pleco we're going to put in here too. And I'll show you that upstairs when we get up there. I don't want to go too long. But you can see I moved. I got this spot ready for the 20 gallon. That's going to go right next to there. This way the tanks pretty much end the same. And then this is going to be here just for storage. Or because I can maneuver this. That's why I kept it there, so it's away from the rest of the fish room. So I can move this if I have to. My wife needs more space. I can move that. These tanks here are already in my space. I'm not really worried about them. And of course the 15 gallon, that's not going anywhere. We're gonna keep that in case we have fish that we want to move in there. Like we have some tetras that may not do good in this tank with the barbs. We'll move them in that tank. So we have some, some options as far as where we want to move fish. But yeah, that's going to be the fish room. And then, these tanks, the 10 gallons here are not being used. I'll eventually bring the 15 gallon down here, but I'm going to keep the 15 gallon in there just in case I got to move a fish out of the 125, and I gotta hold them there. So we're gonna reset that tank up strictly for that, in case we have to do any punishment, as I would call it. Um, so that's the way that, like I said, I have a hard time sometimes filming with the this sideways, but um, somebody recommended it, and that's the way it is. I'm gonna back up. You can see I can film everything in there now. But yeah, that's the little fish nook. Um, like I said, the 40 gallon, 20 gallon are going right here in this spot. I already made room for it. We're gonna put a bunch of stuff on sale as far as tanks, and of course, all these tanks up here aren't going to be run. They're all kind of just hanging out, except for the beta. We're gonna keep her in there. She's doing awesome in there. Everything else, we got a sick fish in there still. I can't seem to get in to get better, so I'm gonna have to get some other kind of medicine for him. I don't know what I'm gonna get, but I haven't been able to get him to feel better. I tried every single medicine you possibly can. I still got the red around his gills. As you can see, it looks like septicemia. I tried Canaflex, it didn't work, so I'm going to have to go with some other stuff. And it's funny because if you guys see these tanks, there's a bunch of snails in all of them. That's just because they like to live, you know, in these tanks, and no matter what you have in there, cold, filtration, no filtration, they don't care. So anyway, that's it for now, guys. That's what we're doing. We're pretty much shutting down the 220s and putting them in the 120, and obviously we're putting some fish in the 30 gallon with these guys here, which I'm going to be starting to do. Once I get that, I'm going to go upstairs right now and do a water change on the 15 gallon, get the water a little warm. Then we're moving the Jaguar up there, and then and this way we can move other fish. Shut the 20 gallons down. I'm gonna show you what happened up there. I'm gonna need to move a heater, and then we could we'll have full tanks. And like I said, these smaller tanks here will be empty. We're not gonna put anything in them. I promised my wife that I would take them off the system. Like all these little filters that I have are gonna be going into 20 and 40 gallons. So we're gonna run, anything that has open line. Like this is an open line here. It's actually filtering, but the open line here is going to be there. So we're going to be taking those lines and moving them over here to a 20 and 40 gallon. I'm going to run 2 sponge filters in each tank. And obviously, I'm going to run heaters. So, and depending on how cold it gets down here, if it stays at like 66, we'll have to, put the heaters. But if it goes up to 75, we'll probably take the heaters out. But I got an extension cord right down there if I have to, just for 2 heaters. And I also make sure that if I have to plug in a hang-on back, I'll be able to do something where I could maybe unplug the heaters or use a different extension cord. And like I said, we'll have to figure out the electricity. But we're going to be shutting down. We're going to get rid of all these lights too, and we're going to be getting rid of all of the because we have lights up here, and we're going to be getting rid of all the heaters, or hang-on backs, I should say. All right, guys. So let me go upstairs, and we'll finish up the video and show you what we're going to do, and then it's going to be real quick because I want to make sure that that I don't go too crazy here. But the next video is where we're going to move all the fish to the 125. All right, guys. So hang on one second. We'll go upstairs and we'll finish the video. Okay, guys. As you can see, that's a double stack tank, and I can't get the whole stand in my camera, so that's the reason why I go the other way around. So this setup here is going to go downstairs. Okay, this whole thing, we're just going to empty the water, and then we're going to have someone carry it downstairs. These fish like to stay in the bottom because I got a pearl gourami on top. All the tetras go hang out at the bottom. This tank also, we got to put a different heater in there because it's down by 72. So those fish aren't swimming around. They're staying at the bottom and they're swimming around a lot. So we're going to change that as soon as we break those 20 gallon longs down. And obviously everything's going into this 125. As you can see, guys. That's the 125 that we got with the stand. And we're going to be setting that up sometime this week. But again, this tank's going downstairs. These tanks. That's getting broken down and being sold. And that's being broken down and being sold. In case you guys are wondering, the Baylor sharks, the silver dollars are coming out of that tank and going in here. Okay. We're also moving all those fish in that tank except for the polar convict, which is going downstairs. So once we get him downstairs, those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there's 6 fish in there that are going in there with them, and the jaguars are going in here. So, and then we may move some other fish too. We just put the severums in here. I keep the light off because we moved new fish in there. The severums are in there. They're going to stay in there with them until they get bigger, and then they'll move into this tank. At the same time that those guys get bigger, because they'll get about a good 8 to 10 inches, and they'll go in this tank. And we'll also be able to put the angelfish in there once they get bigger, because we're going to be getting some angelfish to grow out, put in that tank, and that's going to be strictly an angelfish tank. I may move those geophagus depending on what's going to happen with the jaguars. If they can't play nice, the jaguars will be gone, and then I will put the geophagus in this 125 with the other guys. And if the jaguars stay, hey, jaguars do good, then we'll see how the geophagus is doing here. But for now, that tends to be the same. And like I said, we have options now. We can move stuff into this tank. 75 and 55 we'll have. Those will be the biggest tanks we have. But they're going to be community tanks. The only tank that's going to have big fish is going to be the 125. Everything else is going to be community tanks. Okay? So all those fish there, with the exception of we're going to take fish out of here. The the flying fox, the two zebra loaches are going in with the, and the pleco down here is going to be going in with the convicts, and then we'll be moving the rest of the guys. Those 2 zebra loaches in there, and there's a clown pleco is going in with the community guys. Okay, with all these other guys, and of course we're going to be moving these Corys will be going in with in the 55, and the small ones which are down here are going to be going in that tank with the other small ones that are in here. You see down here these little emerald guys, so we'll put more in there. Now I'm just explaining what we're doing, so I'm going to get to work here because I got this tank ready to go. This is going to be for the Jaguar for now until we get the tank set up, until we get this thing set up, and then I don't want to keep them in that tank yet. We want to put them all together in this big tank at once. That's the way you want to do it, with the light off, and see how they get along. Yeah, so we'll see what happens. Anyway, I'm a little bit nervous, but we'll be good, I think. And then you'll see what we have, and then this whole space here, when we move this tank, is going to be. My wife wants to put a freezer there. With the humidifier, we'll put the freezer there, or we'll put the freezer on that side, depending on how much room we have. And then I could put the pond, when I'm ready to put the pond inside, and go over here somewhere, and we'll hook it up to if we got to put electricity on it. We'll figure something out when we get there. Anyway, till next time, guys, we will see you. Enjoy. That flying fox got big, boy. Anyway, That's what we got for now. We're over 20 minutes. And the next video you'll see, I will show you all the tanks and the missing tanks and all that good stuff. And we're just about ready to go. So let me go, guys. We'll see you next time. Peace.